It needs to be Morgan Gibbs-White. He should be on our tour. I'm hearing that he didn't even join the Nottingham Forest tour, bruv. You get me? He's probably in Marinakis' dungeon, fam. You know them way there. He's keeping a close eye on him, bruv. I'm telling you, bro. We got to keep an eye on Gibbs-White, bro. We might need to do a welfare check because I ain't seen him in a minute, blood. Let me tell you this Marinakis is a problem, fam. And I'm telling you, after we sacked Ange, just looking like, he said, Tottenham, you man ain't going there, blood. Do you know them way there, fam? It's looking like we are being punished for the sins of our past, fam. That's what it is. Because we paid the 60 million release clause. What more does he want? A Big Mac? A McFlurry, fam? What are we doing here, bruv? What are we doing here? It's crazy. If a player's got a release clause in their contract, yeah, man can't, the release clause doesn't say, oh yeah, 60 million, but you need to go to a club that da-da-da-da-da. And even so, we're in the Champions League, bruv. I don't care if you finished above us, bruv. We had a better season than you, bruv. We are in the Champions League and we won a trophy, bruv. You, man, ended up in the Conference League and you're being stripped to your players. You get me? That's what's happening.
Morgan Gibbs-White. I almost forgot his name because it's like, who the is he? Where the is Morgan Gibbs-White? Marinakis is holding him hostage, and it's just like, I'm so tired of like just waiting for Morgan Gibbs-White news. Let's go get something else done. We should have been in the ring for Xavi Simons. The price that Leipzig quoted at the beginning of the window was actually a very doable price, similar to Morgan Gibbs-White. So why not go do it? Anyway, that's my little rant about those rivals, man. They're really upsetting me because they just continually keep getting work done.
Morgan Gibbs-White we need to get that over the line. It would be an embarrassment if we don't get Morgan Gibbs over the line. Because I think Kudus, Morgan Gibbs, and we're making a big statement in the location. Flop that, and yeah, I'm not going to be too pleased about it because I reckon we got the whole league running scared when we get Morgan Gibbs. Now, that madman, Maracanis, do you get me? The Nottingham Forest chairman needs to hush his gums. My guy is trying to sell Morgan Gibbs to Man City against the brothers' wishes. We tapped your release clause, therefore it's legally binding. Shut your mouth and let Morgan Gibbs come to the club that he wants to play for, which is my club, Tottenham Hotspur.
Gibbs-White has done what he's done for Forest, bro. Let's be honest, innit? He wants to leave, you get me? But he's not one of them players that are going to kick up a fuss, bruv. Marinakis just needs to let it go, bro. You get me? Elsa, you get me? Frozen, all of that, fam. Let it go, bruv. That's what you need to do, bruv. You get me? It needs to be Morgan Gibbs-White. He should be on our tour. I'm hearing that he didn't even join the Nottingham Forest tour, bruv. You get me? He's probably in Marinakis' dungeon, fam. You know them way there. He's keeping a close eye on him, bruv. I'm telling you, bro. We got to keep an eye on Gibbs-White, bro. We might need to do a welfare check because I ain't seen him in a minute, blood. That's what we may have to do.
Nottingham Forest made Morgan Gibbs-White play in the pre-season fixture on Saturday. He didn't really cut a happy, content figure on the pitch. And I'll come back to this notion that if Tottenham don't feel like they've done anything wrong, then why are we okay with him being allowed to play when we've triggered the clause in the contract? I know that, you know, sort of triggering your own legal actions and taking it to the Premier League may end up actually delaying the transfer any further. But if Nottingham Forest are not willing to budge, not willing to answer the phone, not willing to communicate, and we are not prepared to make the complaint official and formal, then we're stuck in limbo. And to me, it's a massive waste of time, resources, energy. And as I say, everywhere else, dominoes are falling in for people, for players that I think that Tottenham Hotspur should be looking for.
I think we still get over the line. I see a lot of people, you know, getting cold feet too early. Look, the deal's a done deal, but I'm not going to lie to you, it might not get done until the end of August. Yeah, it's dusty. Well, ideally, we wanted Morgan now. The only positive thing I would say to you is it looks like Morgan didn't travel to Portugal for personal reasons. And that's when I heard that, I said, that's my guy. That's my guy. All of a sudden, his belly's hurting him. Yeah, that's right. He can't play. His head is You know what I'm saying? His head is all over the place, so he can't travel. So Morgan Gibbs wants to be at my club, and I will take him.
Tottenham do have a good relationship with Nottingham Forest. We gave them £50 million for one of their star players in Brennan Johnson. We're trying to give them more money for one of their star players around Morgan Gibbs-White. And they want to take us to court because they don't necessarily know how Tottenham have gained that information. That problem should not necessarily, in my opinion, be with Tottenham. It should be with the agent. If the agent is feeding information regarding a release clause, that's where the problem should be. And of course, there's that scenario where if someone steals something and then you are in possession of stolen goods, you're both guilty of committing a crime. Now, the situation with Morgan Gibbs-White is at the moment, all of this is alleged and none of this is, innocent until proven guilty and all that sort of stuff. But it just seems to be that this situation is going to drag out and drag out and drag out and drag out and drag out. Now, I personally think at this moment in time, I don't necessarily think this deal will happen.
Will we get Morgan Gibbs-White over the line? Get in there, you Tottenham. I hope we will. It just seems to stall and stall and stall. And that's the part I'm confused by, is how I think Marinakis is almost taking advantage of Morgan Gibbs-White maybe being a bit of professional by not forcing him to accept the move, even though there's a release clause in the contract. And, by nature, you would, go through the proceedings and get the deal done. Marinakis is, in a way, I think, forcing Gibbs-White to force himself out of the club, which I don't think Gibbs-White is willing to do. I think he's too much of a professional to make it look like he's wanting out of the club and in that sort of manner. So he's just going against the books. He's going against the rules here. I think Marinakis of how normally a transfer will be done. I don't necessarily think Tottenham have done anything wrong, even if they did a bit of tapping up. We all know that's part of the game. We all know that's part of how transfers work. If anything, it was probably Morgan Gibbs-White's agent that might have violated some type of, confidentiality clause or whatever you want to call it. But I just think, this deal should get done. It just seems like Marinakis is just waiting and waiting and waiting, playing the waiting game until Spurs eventually just give up and grow too frustrated. And I think that is a possibility.
Morgan Gibbs-White obviously is a player, like I said, I think he's a very good player, very happy if he signs for us. But I think that it's like having a living room where you're just replacing the furniture. You're replacing the couch with a nicer couch, but you still haven't got the TV installed. You still haven't got the table. And to me, I think that the left winger spot at Tottenham Hotspur in Sonny's absence is a massive, massive problem that we need to fix.